A rivalry renewed from a revved-up FedEx Forum. It's an 11 a.m. local tip, but don't tell the locals. They're ready for Tennessee and Memphis to hit the hardwood in men's hoops for the first time in 6 seasons. You are watching the American Conference on ESPN. Last time a top 5 team came into the FedEx Forum, it was number 2 Tennessee playing number 1 Memphis in 2008. In the decade since, there haven't been many games as big as this or as many crowds as fired up. Sold out crowd for the Vols, who jumped from number 7 to 3 with a win over then number 1 Gonzaga on Sunday. Tennessee's highest ranking since that 2008 week after the Vols beat Memphis. And on Sunday, John Thompson III, it was Admiral Schofield with a career best 30.
Admiral put on a show then. You know, you come down, his partner in crime, Grant Williams, was on the bench for the last few minutes of the game, and he just willed the Vols to a victory over Gonzaga.
25-30 in the second half, game-winning 3. The defense on Rui Hachimura. And this is the first game for Tennessee since. And it is electric, a full sellout here at FedEx Forum. The first Memphis Tigers sellout since John Calipari's final season.
Oh, the place is jumping. We're going to have some fun today.
Again, that's the former Georgetown coach John Thompson III. I'm Kevin Brown. We are so thrilled to have you for the 26th meeting between these teams. It hasn't been an annual series. 2013 was the last meeting. Rick Barnes and Tubby Smith, the Memphis coach for the last 2 years, wanted to get this thing going, and this is the first of a 3-year contract. They'll play next year in Knoxville and the 2020-21 season in Nashville. For now, back in Memphis, where both programs have bright futures. Tennessee, a much brighter present. A national championship contender led by Admiral Schofield along with Grant Williams, 2 of the top 4 scorers in the SEC. Doug Servins to throw it up. Byron Jarrett, Owen Short, our other officials. It will be Kyle Alexander to take the tip against Rainier Thornton. Play ball in the state of Tennessee and Memphis. And Tennessee scores off the opener with Grant Williams finding Alexander off the tip. Electric start for the Vols at 7-1, the SEC co-champions from last year. And now they'll defend the Memphis team under first-year coach and native son Anthony Penny Hardaway. Rainier Thornton stripped on the way up. It will stay with Memphis. Thornton starting for Memphis. A couple of holdovers there from the Tubby Smith era in Martin and Parks with the 2 freshman guards, Tyler Harris and Alex Lomax.
And Penny's going to eventually get his stamp on this team. You know, there you see Harris. He's a shooter. He's going to find a way to get those shots off. You got to contain him. I think during the course of the game, Tennessee's size and physicality will wear him down.
Well, Harris, a terrific shooter, is in the line for Penny Hardaway, the former Memphis State Tiger. And he's brought in some Memphis kids, including Tyler Harris, a free throw shooter out of Cordova High School for 3 off the foul by Jordan Bone. This kid is not big, Tyler Harris, listed at 5'9", 150, but he is electric with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and some people you don't measure by the height, and he's one of them. Expect Memphis to come with a little token pressure right here, you know, to try to slow Tennessee down, to try to take some time off the clock.
Harris, 90% from the line, he hits all 3. Here is some pressure for Memphis. Jordan Bone gets it ahead to Schofield, Grant Williams, Kyle Alexander, and Yves Pons. And it's Pons who takes and makes a 3 for the second Tennessee field goal.
Now, how about that? That's the shot that Memphis wants to give Tennessee. Coach Hardaway will let Pons take that shot all day, and if he makes 3-4, they'll adjust. But coming out of the gate, that's the shot. That's who they want taking the shots.
We were at Memphis practice for 2 hours yesterday. How many times did Penny Hardaway point out Yves Pons in terms of that corner 3? And he said if he misses the first, he might not take it again. Made it. Martin with a missed three for Memphis, and it's Tennessee ball with a 5-3 lead. Pons does not dial up a second. The French sophomore. Post feed to Alexander, and right back to Pons, who has 5 in a row.
But that's what you have to be careful of. If you're not going to play him, if you're not going to pressure Pons on the perimeter, once he gives it up, you still have to locate him with his cutting and movement. This Tennessee team is an outstanding passing team.
Tigers 4-0 in the FedEx Forum this year, 5-4 against a very difficult schedule. Martin's miss is followed up by Mike Parks Jr., the senior.
And the thing to note on that play is Grant Williams is coming up limping. I didn't see what happened, but he's struggling a little bit right now.
Step back for Bone, negated. Offensive foul, that's 2 on Jordan Bone in the first 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
And that's big because their depth at the point guard isn't at the point right now where Coach Barnes would like it.
Rick Barnes told us before the game, we are not getting 40 minutes of pressure from our collective point guard spot because they lost a couple of guards. So they had to put more on Bone this year.
Yep, you see the penetration. Nice little acting job right there, but hey, good job.
So Bone out. Jordan Bowden checks in to run the point for Tennessee. He was huge at the end of that Gonzaga game. Thornton guarded by Williams. Creates space, missed the shot, and the rebound won by Pons. Here is Schofield. First shot of the game, and when you score 30 against the #1 team, that tends to happen. Friendly roll, and this ball is off the knee of Lomax, headed to Tennessee.
Schofield, they kick it ahead to him. Picks up right where he left off. Shooter's touch. Hits every part of the rim, goes in.
Tennessee 4 for 4 to start. Schofield hits his first after 6 threes, and the one over Gonzaga Sunday in Phoenix.
Now look for Tennessee to settle down here and go inside.
Williams, much better ball handler this year. He'll take it inside, and Williams is fouled on the drive.
And that could have been a charge. The big fella dipped one of those massive shoulders right there. Hey, big fella. He'll score it on the block. He'll take it from the mid-post. He's just a poised offensive player that can get to where he wants to on the court.
And how about this? A quarter of the fouls drawn by Tennessee this year have been drawn by Williams. He lives at the line, and he has much improved his free throw shooting. Around 76% last year. He's up near 81, 82 now to lead the Volunteers.
And with those two, I think that's 20 in a row.
Three missed by Martin, and Williams is fouled on the rebound. Most of America at this point, I think, knows who Grant Williams is. SEC Player of the Year last year, a very lightly recruited player out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Mercer, App State, some Ivy Leagues were on him. For those that haven't seen him play yet, what can they expect?
Well, he's a presence. He knows his game. He can go down on the block and score. He can score in the mid-post. He's a steady, poised player that's also a very good passer. And as you indicated, he gets to the foul line.
Schofield hits another. 2 for 2 threes from Schofield. Tennessee has not missed a shot. 5 field goals, 3 threes, and 2 free throws, leading to a Penny Hardaway timeout.
What has to be going through Memphis' mind is, uh-oh, here he goes again.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Kay Jewelers. For all the moments, for love, forever.
Tennessee and Memphis haven't played in 6 seasons, and with the start for the Volunteers, the folks in Memphis might be wondering about that decision. It's not just the 5-for-5 start for Tennessee, it's 5 assists on 5 made field goals.
Well, this was not the start that Coach Hardaway wanted. The Volunteers come out and they're smoking. As you said, they're 5 for 5. They have 3 threes, and they have an assist on every basket. They share the game. That's what they do. They're deliberate in that they get the shots that they want, when they want, how they want, and it's hard to stop them.
Penny Hardaway took over after a couple of years of Tubby Smith. They were not bad teams. It was a Memphis team that went 21-13 last year. Attendance had been declining in donations to the athletic department. Penny Hardaway told us yesterday he felt like he was ready for this just about the moment he was asked about the job. The native son was a coach at East High School locally. He's taken over here and infused this program with feeling. There's reason to believe Memphis will grow this year, and there's also reason to believe Memphis's best days are ahead of them.
No, without a doubt. And saying that, you're talking about the recruiting strides that Coach Hardaway is making. You know, they have a commitment from the #1 player in 19, James Wiseman. And I said it earlier, I think he's just going to be the Pied Piper. There are more that are still to come. And so, you know, it takes time. This is you know, we're 9 games into the Penny Hardaway era. And so what we're seeing today, we'll see today, is just the start of what he hopes to happen in the future.
His team 1 for 9 from the field. Schofield with the first Tennessee miss, and wouldn't you know it, Alexander puts the rebound back in. So Tennessee is perfect per possession. On the drive, a foul before the shot, with the substitute Kareem Bruton taking it in.
Here we see Schofield finally misses, but his buddy Alexander's there to clean it up, and that's something Memphis is going to have to deal with. And I'm talking about Tennessee's physicality. They're an aggressive, physical team, and that's not going to subside. That's not going to stop. They're coming every possession, every shot.
Kevon Davenport misses a 3. Memphis just 1 for 10 to start. Tennessee 6 for 7. Williams long in the pull-up 2, and the first empty possession for Tennessee as Davenport grabs it. Should beg your pardon, the Vols do have 2 turnovers early. First empty possession in terms of a shot going up. John Fulkerson off the bench for Tennessee. It's the substitute Isaiah Maurice leaving it short for Memphis.
Memphis has got to find their stride. They're struggling right now.
Good post position, won by Williams. Did his work early and finished.
Did his work early is accurate. You can't let that young man in transition post up 2 feet from the basket.
12 in a row for Tennessee after Memphis had brought it to within 2 early.
And now Tennessee goes to a zone just to switch things up a little bit.
Davenport. Williams went straight up. Davenport got it back. Williams straight up again and keeps it in play for Tennessee. Schofield, the senior. Offensive foul. His first.
It's a good play right there by Bruton. You need those kind of plays. They got to find a way to scrap to get back in. You see the big fella Williams running hard in transition, doing his work early, sealing. This is my real estate right here. You can't have it. And once he gets it down there, too big, too strong.
Reigning SEC Player of the Year, who has been even better so far this year, leads the conference in points and rebounds per game. And he's in the top 10 in assists, 7th to be exact. Cross-court pass by Martin. This is Bruton, the senior point guard, who lost it. Tennessee could push with Jalen Johnson into the game, giving it off to Bowden, who can't finish at the rim. Davenport, the trailer. And finally, Memphis is on the board. 17-2 Tennessee run snap. The first make in 10 tries for the Tigers. And Tennessee comes right back with Schofield to Williams.
Surprise, surprise. Memphis has to be ready for that. That's Tennessee's first look on every possession, Williams at the rim.
Now 7 assists on 8 made field goals. Long three, no for Harris. And Schofield there for the physical rebound. Blocking foul taken by Harris against Bowden.
You see, you have to be as relentless as Williams, because he's going to be relentless running the court and getting that post position. You have to anticipate it. You have to beat him to the spots. If you let him get set up, you're dead.
Well-deserved breather for Williams. Barnes, the fourth-year head man at Tennessee. He's brought Bone back into the game with 2 fouls. Missed the 3. Fulkerson tried to go back up with it, missed the dunk. Jeremiah Martin. Whole lot of contact and a foul. Doug Sermons had it from way up top. Martin will shoot 2. Second foul on Yves Pons.
You see Martin coming hard in transition. There's going to be no easy baskets here. They're going to put him at the line. You know, one thing I want everyone to keep an eye on, you look at the Memphis staff, and obviously Coach Hardaway's professional career is noted and storied. You know, you have assistant coach Mike Miller, 17-year NBA vet, assistant coach Sam Mitchell, who in total 23 years in the NBA as a player, head coach, and assistant coach. And you see that, you know, everyone talks about, you know, that NBA experience. You see some trickle down as it relates to the flopping that Memphis does. You know, these guys are flying all over the place, trying to draw charges, flailing all over the place. And that's some of the trickle down from all that NBA experience also.
We've seen a lot of bodies on the deck early, haven't we, for Memphis?
Yes, we have.
A couple of charges drawn, but a few blocking fouls thrown in as well. Schofield with a quick double. Bone. Good find. Fulkerson denied with a foul.
And now you see Memphis has gone to a little zone. Tennessee went to it because of foul trouble. Memphis goes to zone. Tennessee gets it right into the heart of that zone where you want. Nice contest right there. The refs saw a foul. This
was called by on Maurice from behind, 14, not on Davenport. First foul against Maurice, 4th on Memphis. John Fulkerson healthy. A torn labrum last year, a dislocated elbow, and a cracked wrist as a freshman. The folks at Tennessee think he is not only physically better, but mentally strong. And we have a foul against Memphis going for the rebound. And it's on Maurice, who just picked up the foul, leading to the free throws. So Maurice gets 2 quick ones, and he has to exit the game.
And that's just a frustration foul. You know, this. You look at the score; they're down early. You can't pick up that foul and give the ball right back to Tennessee.
Victorino, Memphis' 3rd center into the game, along with the freshman Antoine Jones.
They're going to stay in this zone because of their foul trouble.
A 3 for Johnson. Fulkerson with a tip. Schofield's in there. Fulkerson collects it. Bone has such tremendous speed. Lost it. Got it back. And we'll settle it down for Tennessee. Schofield's pass through the hands of Fulkerson for a volunteer turnover. Penny Hardaway is back. In a city known for kings, it is Penny's time to shine, the head coach of his alma mater. Penny Hardaway, of course, was an All-American at what was known as Memphis State University, 1991 through 93. He played the Volunteers twice. Had double-doubles in both games, 21 and 10, 15 and 11, along with 10 assists. These were a couple of the more notable ones. By the way, this grainy film makes it seem like this was in the 60s. This was the 90s. Look at Penny with Allen Houston defending him. However, the bad news for Mr. Hardaway, Memphis 0 for 2 in those games. Allen Houston averaged 22 points per game in the 2, and Tennessee got him both times.
Tennessee got him both times, and we had a replay that was not in HD, high definition. But I tell you what, number 25 from Memphis State still looked pretty sweet out there.
He's still good. He looks good even now. His team's got some new sweet Nike kicks on today, special for this game. Nice find by Jones to Eno. Alexander contests, and a foul is called. That is Alexander, his first.
You see, special for this game, you have the sweet Nike, reintroduced the pennies, but these are the Memphis pennies. The Tiger pennies, I think they're calling them.
I like those Tiger pennies. I'm gonna have to get you a pair after the game.
Yeah, I think you
my closet's full.
You have a few connections. You can work that out.
You know, with Penny Hardaway, who, for a lot of these kids, they don't know as well as a player outside of YouTube and such. He's such a presence in the game because of his work locally with East High School and because of his team Penny on the AAU circuit. He comes to college as a first-time college coach, but he's had so much in the way of connections to the game and to the city over the last 8 years.
No, without a doubt. Not only is he from Memphis, and not only did he play at Memphis State, but he's someone that has a clear connection and affinity and caring about the city of Memphis. And it's shown prior to him getting his job.
2 to shoot. Williams. Side iron. They walked into our hotel yesterday. First thing we see on the couch, Memphis Magazine with Penny on the cover as the 2018 Memphian of the Year. Bruton drains it. That's a 3 for Kareem Bruton Jr. Much improved shooter this season. Memphis not a good three-point shooting team on the year. They've hit 2 in the early going. Alexander. That's a tough shot. Martin misses. Bowen, good penetration. Well, it started for Penny Hardaway on the national scene as a high school player. He was the National Player of the Year at Treadwell High School in Memphis, over 30 points a game. Came to Memphis State. He led the Tigers to the Elite Eight in his final year. First round pick of the Magic, number 3 overall. But then he came to Memphis to get his degree, finishing out his NBA career. Took over at a local middle school and Memphis East High School, where he won multiple state championships. And now here he is at his alma mater, trying to make Memphis basketball relevant once more. Hard collision. We have a jump. The collision was really with the floor for Schofield and Alexander. And the possession stays with Memphis.
You know, what we're going to have to do, and Memphis has to manufacture some points. Tennessee's just taking away everything on the interior. And so you see the collision. They go, 2 guys scrapping, going after the ball. But Memphis is going to have to make some of those outside shots. And they're not a good outside shooting team. They're going to have to see if they can get some baskets in transition. Just because everything in the paint, Tennessee is just taken away.
How physical is Tennessee in the modern college game?
I think they're very physical.
Not so much there. Thornton snuck in, missed the bunny, and then Williams stripped it on the way up and took it away again. How about the hands by Williams?
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that physicality, the aggression, the quick hands, the stick-to-itiveness.
Williams a little banged up. He did not cross midcourt. In the paint right now and contesting the runner from Bruton, which falls.
And this young Memphis team needs this crowd. They need this emotion to help them right now. Tennessee's going to be steady. Tennessee is a rock. They're going to calm down. We're trying to see what happened right there.
Well, we've got a foul that sends Tennessee to the line, and Jordan Bowden. It looked like the foul was called on Bowden after the shot went in. And he was pushed from behind by Victor Eno. So the shot is good. The foul by Eno on the rebounding try, and a 1-1 for Jordan Bowden.
Here you see right now, Bowden's going up for the rebound. Eno trying to get around him, shoves him in the back. It's a good call. And you now have Tennessee. Both teams are in the 1-on-1 actually with the next foul.
Bowden gets them both. 12 for 12 at the line this year. The lead back to 9. Nice find by Jones. Thornton and the foul.
Both teams playing a little more zone than they want to. That's how you have to attack it. Get the ball in the middle of the zone, and you better go up strong like Thornton just did. That's a man's layup right there. With the old-fashioned 3.
He finished it. Penny Hardaway calls Thornton their Draymond Green for his physicality, the way he can defend. 6'6", 230 senior from Gordon State College originally. Williams sealing off Thornton, and Williams responds after fouling Thornton on a basket. Thornton fouls Williams, who has a chance for a hard 3.
If Williams is in your area, you cannot relax. Every pass, they're looking into him. Every single pass. And so you have to jump to the ball on the pass if you're the defender. You can't let him get in front of you. If he gets in front of you, they're throwing it in. And as you noted earlier, Williams is taking more foul shots than any junior in the country.
One note, that foul was on Bruton on the reach, so he has 2, stays in the game. Lomax, very difficult finish, but he's fouled. That's Pons, and that's a 3rd foul against Pons with 8:55 to go in the half. Pons will have to sit.
Both teams, both coaches are being forced to go into their bench a little more than they're used to. Both coaches are being forced to play zone because of the foul trouble a little more than they want to.
Thursday, our game of the night is at the Garden. 2 of the 9 unbeatens remaining in college hoops are Texas Tech, or one of the 9 is Texas Tech, against number 2 Duke with that 1 loss to Gonzaga. First ever meeting between these 2 schools. Available on the ESPN app from anywhere and on ESPN2. As you know, Duke has to get past those pesky Princeton Tigers first before Texas Tech.
I don't like that word pesky.
Why not? You're pesky. You're Princeton Tiger.
Proud old Princeton Tiger. It's never at a loss.
Different form of alliteration. Another Tennessee turnover. Volunteer's been a little bit sloppy with the ball early on. Jones, the freshman. Is that one of those shots he should just take it first rather than hesitating?
In hindsight, you say that, but I don't think he had his feet set initially. He was off balance a little bit.
Foul against Bruton. That's his 3rd. So both Pons and Bruton have picked up 3 fouls in the first half.
Now, the officials are having a little fun out here. They're making sure we know that their whistles are working. As I said a few seconds ago, both teams are a little into their bench more than they want to be right now. We still have 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half.
Fulkerson 1-and-1. Missed it. Nice rebound by Thornton, and the dish with some flair to Harris. Quiet first half for Harris, who had 3 free throws to start and is 0 for 3 since. Lomax into the teeth of the zone, and the whistles work again as Lomax is fouled.
That's a tough call right there. I mean, Lomax initiated all of that contact right there.
Foul is called against Fulkerson.
Little hesitant, he just puts his head down and goes. The defender, I don't know. But as a defender, you know that you should know that that's what Lomax is going to do. He doesn't want to take a perimeter shot. You know he's a hard driver. You got to anticipate that and be prepared for it.
How do you defend that better?
Are you trying to bait me into saying something about the officiating right there? I'm not sure you can defend that better.
Fair enough. I had a feeling that might be your response. Well, you got to clean up one of the areas on the free throw line here. A lot of bodies have hit the deck so far. Some work for the Memphis ball boys. Listen, FedEx Forum is maybe a bit of a worn-out place these last couple of days. Grizzlies played last night. They play the Rockets tonight. And then this will be the site of some Memphis graduations, some mid-semester graduations on Sunday. So it's quite a 48-hour stretch for the folks in maintenance here at FedEx Forum, who have done an awesome job to get us ready for this one. Thornton on the deck. Here's Harris for three. And Lomax could not hang on. Frenzied moments there. Memphis has cut the lead to 6 to the Tennessee-Memphis game.
Seth Greenberg, Chris Pizzola, Chris Cotter getting you set for E-Trade halftime. Back in studio. We'll have preview of Gonzaga, North Carolina later on tonight. What do you make of what you're seeing here?
I'm enjoying going down memory lane on Penny's playing career. The only thing we're missing is Lil Penny.
Little Penny is somewhere. There's no doubt about it. They're wearing the pennies. My thing is interesting that Memphis is extending their defense, which is forcing Tennessee to get deeper into the clock in their half court. I think that's really good for Memphis right now because now all of a sudden they can't just pound it inside to Grant Williams. What do you think, Coach Thompson?
No, I think you're exactly right. I think the fact that Tennessee has had both teams have had to go to a zone is really benefits Memphis. You know, it's kind of taken away some of the open looks that Tennessee usually gets for Williams and for Schofield in the paint. It's taken away a lot of their paint touches that they normally get. Well,
if you were to see Tennessee shooting 50%, Memphis 21%, you'd expect more than a 6-point spread. Yet here we are. Memphis 10 of 12 from the line, and the Tigers have forced 8 Tennessee turnovers to just 3 for Memphis. Williams on the inside. Have we seen that before?
Yeah, and coming right out of the timeout, Memphis goes back to man-to-man, and then Tennessee goes right back to Williams. And so that's what playing that zone took away a lot of those deep post touches. They go to man-to-man, and that's going to be Tennessee's first, second, and third look.
Williams, the high scorer in the game with 11. He had 16, 12, and 7 assists before fouling out late against Gonzaga. He completes the three-point play. He is 4 of 4 at the line today.
Tennessee stays in their zone. Look for Memphis try to get the ball in the middle of that zone and then make a play.
Martin gets into the middle. Harris. Martin. Lomax has only hit 1 3 this year. Thornton is there for the tip. Davenport there for the second tip.
And I promise you this, at halftime, and we're still 7 minutes away from halftime, the Volunteers are going to hear about Memphis' success on the offensive boards.
This will stay with Tennessee off the miss from Jordan Bowden. Rick Barnes' Tennessee team ranked number 3, its highest ranking since late February 2008 after a win at then number 1 Memphis. Tennessee jumped to number 1 and promptly lost the next game at Vanderbilt. It was Rick Barnes' first win Sunday in his coaching career over the number 1 team, 31 years, as the Vols beat Gonzaga. Alexander goes up and gets fouled by Thornton off a miss by Williams.
But you see right there, that time Memphis went back to the zone And Williams' looks are just a little different. He gets it a little higher, a little farther away from the basket. It's a little more contested as he tries to take the shot. But then at the same time, you got Alexander doing what Alexander does and trying to clean things up on the board.
Double bonus, Alexander. Good free throw shooter at 75%. Kyle Alexander was a big soccer and volleyball player until midway through high school. So when you look at his career numbers and see how they've jumped year by year, it's no surprise. Missed the second. Schofield cleans it up. Bowden. And Davenport high points the rebound for Memphis. Very quiet half for Harris, who has not scored outside of the early 3 free throws.
And that might be a good sign for Memphis, because he's going to show up at some point. It's very quiet half, and he's not going to be quiet the whole game.
Alexander with a great shot block on Thornton stepping out. Leading shot blocker for Tennessee. He'll shoot a 3 and connect. What a sequence that was for Kyle Alexander.
The timing there is unfortunate, but that's a shot that I think Coach Harway will live with. It's unfortunate because it went in.
Just his second 3 of the year at 4 tries. And then he draws the charge from Davenport. Alexander is everywhere right now.
Yes, he is. Starting with a great defensive play, closeout, block down one end, walks into a nice slow trailer 3, and then the following possession takes a charge, having his effect on the game in many different ways. It's not just with his scoring.
8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and now a charge drawn by Alexander. Up top of the throwdown. It's Bowden from Bone.
Execution. A veteran team that just methodically goes through their progressions, checks everything off. This Tennessee team, they've been through it.
Air Jordan to put Tennessee up 13. Now Bowden guards the ball in Lomax. Martin, that's a foul against Alexander, who did hit him on the way up. And Alexander has picked up 2.
Nice little back screen against the zone. A lot of people run this play. You screen the backside forward. Williams is shooting to the middle, and you got the clear lob right there. Communication has to be better on that backside of the zone, of Memphis' zone. Now what's going to happen, they're going to be worried about that. They're going to get flat low along the baseline and look for Tennessee now to get the ball right into the middle of the zone.
Martin missed the first, hits the second. 1,046 points scored, Jeremiah Martin, 45th at Memphis all-time, coming into today. Fulkerson has checked in for Alexander on the bench for the 2 fouls. Williams in the middle. Bowden dials up a 3 for Tennessee. Largest lead for the Vols. Martin cannot cut into it. Schofield with a loose ball. Good vision to find Bone there down the floor. Bowden again.
Memphis has to settle down and get a good shot right here. Tennessee's picking them apart.
Memphis has 1 out of its last 8 from the field. Williams had it knocked out of his hands. Bowden, Jordan on the spot. Schofield did not realize at first just how alone he was.
And you know, there was a stretch. It took Tennessee some time to get used to the rhythm of Memphis' zone. Now they're getting every shot that they want. Inside, outside, they're picking them apart. You move it around, you go inside, you get a lob. A few possessions later, you work it around. Schofield, open 3, money.
take you back to one of the memorable games in this rivalry in recent years, at least for Tennessee fans. 2006, Bruce Pearl and John Calipari. Memphis ranked 16th at the time. Antonio Anderson with a 3. But Tennessee would dominate this game in the second half. Chris Lofton there, Jawan Smith here. Tennessee, with the upset win 76-58 over the number 16 Tigers. Lofton had 34 in that game. The series renewed with a 3-game contract agreement next season at Tennessee. And then Rick Barnes very excited about 2021. They'll play in Nashville. He's trying to turn that into a whole day celebration of Tennessee basketball. And he pointed out to us before the game, think about all the great schools in the state of Tennessee. Belmont, Middle Tennessee, Lipscomb made the tournament last year. This is really one of the premier states now in the nation for college basketball.
No, it is. And Coach Barnes is, as you said, trying to create a situation where once every 3 years you bring a lot of those teams together for a full day, not just Tennessee playing Memphis, but a full day of basketball to celebrate and accentuate collegiate basketball in Tennessee.
Hoping to make it sort of a Tennessee jamboree. That will be 2 seasons from now in Nashville. Harris, on Memphis' last possession, hit his first field goal. Leading scorer Harris. Bowden all over him there. Parks on the feed from Jones.
And I know it's driving Coach Barnes crazy that he has to stay in his zone because of foul trouble.
Pons with 3, Alexander with 2, the particulars. Fulkerson going to work on Parks. Nice job off the window. John Fulkerson.
With the assist, Grant Williams. He does it all, ladies and gentlemen.
4 assists, 0 turnovers for Williams. That's one of his biggest areas of improvement. 0.75 assist to turnover ratio first 2 years. That's 4 turnovers for every 3 assists. This year it's around 2 to 1, his assist to turnover ratio. SEC Player of the Year has gotten even better as a junior. Another basket for Parks, who has 6. Bowen with that elite speed going into Parks. That's a foul. Foul against Mike Parks. His first.
And he does have elite speed. I mean, he got from half court to the rim in a blur right there. Boom, gets there, slides to the side, going to the line. Crowd doesn't like that call.
Do you?
I'm okay with that one.
Well, it's a big day, not just in college basketball. Bowl season is already underway, and on ABC, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, it's the Las Vegas Bowl. Fresno State, the Mountain West champs. A terrific year for Jeff Tedford's team against Arizona State. Live anywhere on the ESPN app. Normally, that might be an easy charge for Parks if you're set before the offensive player goes up. It's close. I'll say this, though. Bone is so quick that it's very hard to draw a charge on him because of how quickly he gets from spot to spot.
No, he got to Parks before Parks was ready.
Rick Barnes compares him to T.J. Ford in terms of his speed. Jordan Bone. Williams defending the ball, and Martin found Parks. Harris, 2 to shoot. Offensive rebound, Martin. And did he step out first? Yes. Tennessee ball.
He absolutely stepped out, but he can't get discouraged. Boom, he stepped out, but that Memphis has to try to continue to create those opportunities.
Now you mentioned Memphis flopping, hitting the deck earlier, and there's Thornton trying to draw the charge, but that seemed to be a clear block, and it's now Thornton's 3rd. So Memphis is in extra foul trouble because of that play.
live by the sword, die by the sword. I mean, that's part of their game plan. And I don't necessarily want to use the word flop, but I will. But they hit the floor a lot.
Well, here's something positive to talk about. Grant Williams at the line. Rick Barnes said he wanted to challenge him to become more of a leader. He took a trip to Ecuador with the Vol Leaders Academy this offseason. It's a group of about 20 Tennessee student athletes who are designated as leaders. And Rick and the staff saw a difference from Grant Williams after that trip. A little bit more vocal, more comfortable in his role. It's scary to think for the rest of the SEC that Grant Williams is more vocal, is a better leader, is a better passer. And oh, by the way, he won the SEC Player of the Year last season.
He won SEC Player of the Year. Was the first Tennessee underclassman to win the Player of the Year since who? Bernard King. But he's just a young man who has great touch. When he gets the ball around there, look how off balance some of these shots look. But they're not for him. He gets it down there, either hand, it's going in. You know, he does a great job, not a good job, a great job of getting deep post position where he's just jumping up and dropping the ball in the basket. You can't, if you're playing against him, you have to do your work early, often, and continuously.
Rick Barnes has often compared Williams to P.J. Tucker, who Barnes coached at Texas. Tucker is in the city. His Rockets will play in this building against the Grizzlies tonight. Admiral Schofield pulls down his 6th rebound of the first half. 9 and 6 for Schofield. There's Lomax all over Williams, who lost the handle to Martin. Another Tennessee turnover. That's 9. The freshman Jones foul. That is the 25th foul. Sorry, John, of the first half.
No, I was just going to point out that for the last 3 or 4 possessions, Williams has brought the ball up the court. He can do it all.
He's probably not going to bring it up here because that was Williams' 2nd foul.
No, 28 seconds. They're probably going to let him go sit over there for the rest of the half.
And Rick Barnes really not happy about that. Williams fouled out late in the game against Gonzaga on Sunday, and he picks up a 2nd here. So Williams out for the final 28 and change. And the free throw is good by the freshman Antoine Jones. Shot clock is off. Where would you expect Tennessee to look on this potentially last possession?
They're going inside again.
Oh, bonus foul. What was Lomax doing there?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think, you know, Bone has gone by him a few times, and so.
Hey, Jeremiah, don't breathe on him.
You know, that's one of those, he might not have touched him, but why swipe right there? Why put the ref in a position where he has to make a decision? You're 35, 40 feet from the basket right there. There are a few seconds. Why swipe at the ball?
Well, this has been officiated a certain way so far. 26 combined fouls in a half. Bone hits both. Tennessee will substitute Bone with 2 fouls out of the game, bring in Walker for the last offensive possession. That was Lomax's 2nd. He will stay in, take the ball up for Memphis. A lot of length on the floor for Tennessee. Martin finds Jones. Great feed, great finish. Nice way to end the half for Memphis. All in all, though, a good 20 minutes for Tennessee despite the foul trouble. Volunteers have been pretty darn good under Rick Barnes with big halftime leads. This would qualify with a 15-point advantage. And the first Tennessee-Memphis game in 6 seasons. 14 for Williams, 9 for Schofield, and number 3, Tennessee, leads 50-35. Sold out FedEx Forum here in Memphis, Tennessee, and maybe about 20% of them or so have been happy, something like that. The folks who are in burnt orange are liking this. Tennessee up by 15 over Memphis. Kevin Brown, John Thompson the third. It is the Tennessee team second in the nation, or tied for second coming into today in assists per game. That may well go up. 14 assists on 15 made field goals.
No, it is. In a half that was ugly because of the fouls. Tennessee still did what Tennessee does. As you said, they're averaging, they're number 2 in the country in assists per game. And they share it. They don't care who scores. Obviously, Schofield and Williams get a lot of the attention, but the ball movement they have and the body movement they have make it so difficult to guard. And their willingness to share the game is what makes them a special team.
They are second in the country in assists, the tie with Belmont. They are 4th in the country in assists per field goals made, 14 for 15. You see there, Tennessee well out shooting Memphis from the field, and that last number stands out too. 26 personal fouls in the first half, 25 made field goals between the two teams. Tennessee starts the second half with Pons back on the floor with 3, Alexander, Bone, and Williams all with 2, and Admiral Schofield with just 1 foul. Williams led the way in that first half with 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Pons well offline on a 3, and Alexander just went over the bat for his 3rd foul.
And so I guess from a Memphis perspective, both halves started off the way you wanted them to start off, with Pons taking a perimeter shot. He made the first one. He missed this one. Maybe this will be a sign of positive things for the Tigers.
Alexander out after 29 seconds of the half. It's been a very tightly officiated game both ways to start. That one against Alexander. And no question, he went over the top for his 3rd. Fulkerson checks in. Lomax into Schofield. Nice runner by the freshman out of East High School, Alex Lomax. Williams is hit inside and fouled. That's Rainier Thornton, and that'll be number 4 against Memphis's Thornton. 59 seconds into the half, Davenport has to check in.
At this rate, you're going to see both teams going back to that zone, to their respective zones pretty soon.
At this rate, we're going to see you in the game. Again, Memphis leaves Pons open, and again, it pays off.
That's the shot Coach Hardaway wants. They're not going to guard him. They simply are not going to guard him on the perimeter.
Rick Barnes is immediately called for Jordan Bowden. Lomax can't hit a second straight shot. Again, Pons. Again, he'll try it. This time he'll connect. It is a 2.
One for 3 on the half. He'll get that shot every possession.
Davenport. Pons left him on the rotation, and that allowed Davenport some space. Very quiet first half for Kevon Davenport. Now has 7 points, along with 5 rebounds. Williams, good shot fake, got Davenport in the air. Williams is fouled on his way to the basket. First against Jeremiah Martin.
That's one of Tennessee's staple plays. You know, they come down their secondary break, come off of Williams, throw it back to him. He can take and make that shot, but more often than not, he's going to pump fake and go to the basket.
Leads the SEC in points per game and rebounds. We talked to Rick Barnes before the game, asked him, where can Grant Williams get better? And the first thing he said was rebound. This is the SEC leader in rebounding, and Rick said, look, he's been better, but he should be getting 12 per game.
No, it's funny. I mean, he's leading the SEC, and his coach is very, very disappointed in his rebounding.
Missed both free throws. Harris shimmied into an open three. Davenport has it whipped away by Schofield. Bone on the bounce, and Davenport flies in for the rejection. Harris over Williams, he scores. Williams dials up three to silence the Tiger faithful.
Harris is being a lot more aggressive now, and that's what the Tigers need.
There's an answer, Jeremiah Martin. Bone rattles home a two, and back and forth these in-state rivals go.
And that's not what the Tigers want. Tigers don't want back and forth. They've got to get some stops.
They get another basket with Davenport. Now can they get a stop? 381 miles apart on I-40. A rivalry rekindled after 5 seasons without Tennessee Memphis basketball. Williams, way too strong. Schofield the rebound, and a foul underneath.
We got great back and forth action right here. Transition, great hustle, great defensive play right there. Down the other end, Williams had just finished going in for layup. Next possession, bangs in the three. The benches are into it, the crowd is into it. Boom, nice little penetrate, dump off for the dunk. These teams are going back and forth, back and forth. The crowd is into it. This is what they want. This is one of the reasons, this type of action right now, why they wanted this rivalry renewed. But I'll say it again, the Tigers got to get some stops.
Schofield has had a pretty quiet 11 and 9. He hit both free throws. Quiet comparatively after he scored 30 against the #1 team on Sunday.
Yeah, but if we all remember, he got 11 in a row coming down the stretch, so he can still get there.
He had 5 in the first half of that game. Ended with 30. Has the ball right now and threw it right into the hands of Martin. Martin looking to push tempo. Jeremiah Martin. Foul is on the floor. High-flying action here in Tennessee. Falls by 13.
On the money. Oh my God! There's the tap! Oh! Incredible finish. Unbelievable.
We got a bowl triple header for you over on ESPN today. First day of whole season. New Mexico Bowl, North Texas against Seth Luttrell's North Texas team against Utah State. Georgia Southern and Eastern Michigan follow the Camellia Bowl, and then at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, Middle Tennessee. Brent Stock still playing his final game for his dad, Rick, the Blue Raider quarterback, as they take on Appalachian State. Another Memphis turnover, 7. 6 committed by the Tigers. Antoine Jones, the freshman. Tennessee has the ball up by 13.
Going right into Williams right here, out of the timeout.
Oh, instead Schofield leaked right behind and got free.
Nice execution right there. They ran a little flex cut. Both defenders stayed with Williams. Schofield's wide open for the layup.
Looked like Memphis didn't want to get burned by Williams out of the timeout, which has happened a couple of times today. And they just left Admiral Schofield alone after a great feed by Fulkerson.
Coming out of the timeout, they want to go inside. Set a little back flex pick. Both defenders hesitate. Nice pass, nice execution coming out of timeout. Uncontested layup.
Fulkerson will get a rest. Alexander returns with 3 fouls. Davenport, couple of second-half field goals. Went up, got nothing. Got it back. Wave off the basket, foul on the floor.
This is a passionate fan base here. You know, they go inside. Good hustle by Davenport. Misses, stays with it, gets fouled on the floor. The fans don't agree with it, but that's the effort right there by Davenport is what they need. They also need for Harris and Martin to be really aggressive right now.
You could tell on the replay, Williams did fly into Davenport before he went up. The good news for Memphis fans is Williams has exited the game with 3 fouls. Pons is back in there for Tennessee. Martin fouled. That will count.
As I said, they're going to need Martin and Harris to be aggressive and try to create at this point in the game right here so they can claw back in.
Jeremiah Martin has known Penny Hardaway for a long time. Memphis kid out of Mitchell High School, although Penny had never coached him until this year. Exciting for Martin, who's been part of some highs and lows here at Memphis basketball. Mike Parks, 3rd foul for Memphis, and they're piling up just as quickly in the second half as they did in the first.
Well, you know, the officiating crews, they've been consistent. And so both teams have to adjust, have to adapt. They are calling it tight.
Schofield elevating and delivering over the freshman Jones and the help defender Davenport. Admiral Schofield with 15 and 10. His foul is going against Jordan Bowden, his 3rd.
But there again, you see Martin being aggressive in attack mode. Now, what he has to continue to do is get into the lane, stay aggressive, and then once he gets in there, make a decision. Do I have a shot or do I have a pass? Being aggressive doesn't mean just trying to shoot every time himself.
Jones initiating, and a good find to Davenport. Another throwdown for Kevon Davenport. Schofield and Martin get tangled up. Martin hit the deck. No foul. Now he picks up the steal. Driving on Bone, and Bone knocked it out of his hands.
Great action, great action. Down one end. Memphis has to continue, get to the paint, get paint touches, and then make decisions. Martin with a great defensive play. That energy he's bringing has to start to be infectious, and his teammates pick up on it.
And Schofield just grabs it away from Davenport. Hard to outmuscle Admiral Schofield. Alexander will work it into Parks. Rebound by Antoine Jones. Martin will run the show, the senior for Memphis. Leading scorer all conference from a year ago. Martin slithers one through, and Davenport finishes again. It's been a big second half for Davenport with 8 of his 13. Timeout, Tennessee. November 22nd, 2011, Memphis and Tennessee, one of the memorable games in series history, came not in this state, but quite a few miles away in the Maui Invitational. Josh Richardson, Tariq Black making plays. Memphis would get the baskets late. Will Barton with an N1, Antonio Barton a corner 3. Those two combined for 46, and Memphis hung on in double overtime for a 99-97 win. The 26th all-time meeting between Tennessee and Memphis. UT leads 14-11. Tigers have won 3 straight, but they haven't played since 2012-13. Josh Pastner was the Memphis coach. He expressed a reluctance not playing this game, in part because of the recruiting advantages for Tennessee and Memphis. They're back on, and Memphis is back in it with a bucket by Bruton off a steal.
And the crowd here in the FedEx Forum is alive and well. The Tigers, that youthful energy is showing up right now.
First time within 10 since the 6:42 mark of the first half. And an offensive foul is drawn. Yves Pons barreling over with a charge. Pons picks up his 4th foul.
Pons a little out of control right there.
Memphis has Harris in the game with Martin. Keegan Davenport has checked out. Victor Eno in the game.
And Williams came right back in the game.
Martin. Eno got the position on Williams for the offensive rebound. Martin. Here comes Jordan Bowden, and it's taken by Jones. The steal for Memphis. Harris. Williams, the closeout, no 3 attempts. Memphis ball with 21 to shoot.
Martin has to stay aggressive right here. He's open in the corner.
Harris for 3. And the rebound tipped by Jones out of bounds to Tennessee. Harris 0 for 7 from 3. Memphis' standout shooter. He has scored just 7 in the game. Williams back in the game with the 3 fouls after Memphis cut into the lead with him on the bench. Alexander hit 1 from out there, not 2. Here comes Harris for Memphis. Jones got it. That is a long 2. Schofield answers. A frenzied crowd here in Memphis, the likes of which they haven't seen in a long time. But the man to my right has been in one of those situations. We'll tell you about when we return. Today's the 5th sellout ever in the FedEx Forum, but it will not be the biggest crowd ever. That was 2007. Look at that man on the bench. Look at that handsome Georgetown coach. John Thompson III's Georgetown team played to more than 19,000. It did not go particularly well, unfortunately, for your Hoyas.
No.
85-71 final score.
That night didn't go well. You know, fortunately, they came to us the following year. And then we came back here in 2010, and 2010 we had a little better night than dealing with Derrick Rose right there.
I'd like to know what happened to the mustache.
Father time, baby. It was, do you want a gray mustache or do you want to take it off?
Right. Well, how about this? 18,864, near 19,000, and today ranks as the 5th largest in FedEx Forum history. 18-4. The official word. First sellout since the John Calipari era. Again, this is not a finished product for Memphis. We're still a ways away from that with a great recruiting class coming in, but it goes to show you the energy that's already been injected into this city and this team with Penny Hardaway as head coach.
Without a doubt, and nights or mornings like today are part of the growth and the growing process. You know, we've talked about throughout the game, Tennessee has a group of wily veterans out there. They've been in these situations. They've had to weather the storm. They've been in games where teams have made runs at them and they had to calm down. This Memphis team, as you see a freshman being aggressive, but committing a charge, they haven't been in these situations. This is something that'll pay off, if not later on this year, in years to come. And he's being aggressive. He's trying to be assertive. Charge drawn.
The foul against Jones, that is Memphis' 6th of the half, so both teams will shoot for the rest of the half. Tennessee has stretched the lead back to 10. Schofield with 18, Williams with 17. Schofield on a cut is fouled by Jones again, and that will send Schofield to the line.
Both teams are in a 1-and-1 with over 10 minutes to go. One thing that Memphis is going to have to do, they're going to have to guard without grabbing and holding. Tennessee's offense has a lot of movement. It's not a stagnant, stationary offense. So off the ball, you're going to have to stay attentive, stay alert, and stay active as opposed to just ball watching, which a lot of young players have a tendency to do.
Admiral seems to be loving the moment. Schofield hits the front end, 4 of 4 at the line today. Another tremendous game for the senior from Zion, Illinois.
You're loving the moment. He's worked hard to prepare himself for these moments, and like you said, he's a senior now. He understands. They had a taste of some success last year, winning the SEC regular season championship, knocking off number 1 a couple days ago rather. He's ready for this moment. 22
points per game in his last 3, 20 today. Over the last 4 now, Schofield has been outstanding from the field. He's gone 32 of 52 in those 4 games. But Davenport has an answer. Kevin Davenport makes this a 9-point game. There's a foul by Harris that will send Jordan Bowden to the line.
That's one of those situations where you have to be aggressive if you're Memphis. You have to pressure. You have to try to create turnovers. But the reaching and the slapping, which Harris did, that's going to be called every time.
Jordan Bowden, 1-and-1. Thursday night, join us here on ESPN 2, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Chris Beard's unbeaten Texas Tech team will head to the Garden and take on second-ranked Duke. Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish. Can't get enough of these Blue Devils. 7 Eastern, 6 Central from MSG in a great non-conference showdown. Davenport from the corner, 3.
Davenport's doing his part.
He was moved to the bench 5 games ago, and he has really responded with great effort and great passion. 19 to lead Memphis. That 3's good from an unlikely Tennessee scorer, Jalen Johnson. Just his 8th 3-point attempt of the year, though he has hit 5. Lomax into the Tennessee defense, called for a charge. Well,
Coach Hardaway and the crowd don't like that call.
I understand why. It has been a very tightly called game, to say the least. The patrons here have not been thrilled. Schofield will not thrill them even further with another 3, his 4th.
Schofield loves these moments.
Lomax nearly turned it over. Davenport, and a late whistle called as Davenport shot at 3. My goodness. Johnson with a foul. Davenport will shoot 3.
Now, the Memphis Tigers need to gain their composure a little bit here. Everyone is frustrated about the charge block decisions that the referees are making, and that's totally engulfing all their emotions right now. We have to settle down and still execute.
Even Davenport to the line, where he is only a 56% foul shooter this year. It's a strange mix, this Memphis team, of rather experienced players, seniors such as Davenport, a former JUCO All-American, and quite a few freshmen brought in by Penny Hardaway. And Penny told us yesterday it's taken some time for the old players and the new players to gel a bit. Had a couple of meetings, but he feels that as of late, they've all been buying in and found themselves on the same page. He's very encouraged with that progress. Lomax diving on the floor. Tennessee ball. Now the fans want a foul that they don't get.
You know, this aggressive hard play right here. Davenport misses, two guys going for it. Lomax smacks it out of bounds.
Actually, they're calling for a travel. It did look like Alexander held the last foot. Maybe don't wear black and white stripes on Beale Street today just to be safe if you're in the area. Williams, Davenport hits the deck. That's an offensive foul called against Williams, his fourth. And now Tennessee is irate. You just don't want this to be the story of the game, all the fouls.
No, you don't want it to be, but we're heading that way.
I get the play by Davenport. Everything's being called. You're trying to draw it.
You say you get it means you don't agree with the call?
No, I understand what he's trying to do.
Okay, I hear you.
Davenport into Alexander. There's a foul. Alexander has 4. Williams has 4. Both teams are in the double bonus. 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the half.
Both teams, the players, because of how the game is being officiated, need to gain composure, need to calm down a little bit, need to breathe.
Williams will check out with 4 fouls. Jeremiah Martin returning for Memphis. Davenport, meanwhile, with 22, but he misses the second.
Let's see how long it takes for someone to try to take a charge.
Lomax on the ball. It'll be Schofield with 4. Schofield over Martin. All air. Shot clock violation before Alexander got it off. The lead is 11 for Tennessee, but 3 players have 4 fouls. One of the biggest games they've played in a decade here since UT and Memphis got together in a memorable meeting. The highest rating for a college basketball game at ESPN, the most viewers, 2008, February 23rd. Penny was in the building when number 2 played number 1 in an epic between Tennessee and Memphis. Derrick Rose led the Tigers back to a late lead, but it was Tennessee which would take over with hustle plays late. Chris Lofton to J.P. Prince. Tennessee was ranked number 1 after this win for the first time in program history, 66-62. It was Memphis's first loss of the year. 10 years later, folks are still buzzing about it. One of the great regular season college basketball games that we've seen in the last 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it may be. Today, the first time a top 5 team has played in the FedEx Forum against these Memphis Tigers since that day in 2008. Martin blocked inside with Fulkerson and Alexander both in there. No Williams with 4 fouls for Tennessee. Bone pops and scores.
Roadrunner, he gets to his spot very quickly.
Lomax takes it. Alexander with a help side block. It's Davenport again. What a second half for Kevin Davenport.
His effort has been outstanding. He's not just making shots. He's making the winning plays, the plays necessary for Memphis to get back in this game.
19 of 24 in the second half for Davenport, who they think might be their most talented player, and he is showing it. Bone. Alexander hit the deck. He was fouled. Alexander going for the offensive rebound. Fouled by Parks. That'll be his fourth. Both teams in the double bonus. Alexander, 1 of 3 at the line today.
And you got to go touch Alexander earlier. I mean, he's on every shot, he's crashing the boards. You got to go meet him sooner.
Grant Williams, you just saw, has returned to the game with 6:19 to go. Remember, Williams fouled out last game against Gonzaga late in the game. He's one of 3 Tennessee players with 4. Pons is off the floor right now. Alexander and Williams are in. Parks in the game with 4. Thornton on the bench with 4 for Memphis. Davenport with space and another triple. Three shy of a career high for Davenport. Williams. Foul line jumper right back into the game. And Williams has 19. Davenport with contact. That's a no call. And he's got 29. 16 straight for Memphis have been scored by Davenport.
And at some point, you got to adjust your scouting point, don't you? The guy's got 16 straight. He's got 29 points. You got to make a concerted effort to guard and know where he is.
Foul on Lomax. That will send Jordan Bowden to the line. Admiral Schofield is getting a rest for Tennessee.
He's not going to be resting too much longer. We know that.
You'd think with Schofield out, this is an area where Memphis has to cut into the lead. And right now it's still that back and forth game with a lack of stops. Bowden 5 for 5 at the line. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 11 points. Another productive game for him. It's Bowden taking the assignment on Davenport, and now the zone, he leaves him off to Fulkerson, and Davenport just goes and gets it. 18 in a row for Davenport. He's got a career-high 31.
Coach, you don't have to run a play for me. I'm going to go get it anyway.
From Georgia Highlands College for 2 years. Tennessee did not go for the timeout there. Bone got rid of it to Fulkerson. Here comes the trap with Jones. Bowden escapes it. Fulkerson foul.
And that might be intentional.
Hard foul.
He just grabbed it.
Jeremiah Martin. Rick Barnes is talking to Doug Sermons, the lead official. Not going to be reviewed.
Not going to be reviewed.
Here comes the Admiral. Schofield will replace Williams, who gets a breather with the 4 fouls.
Let's see if Tennessee goes back to their zone.
Schofield in between 2 Memphis players back into the game, and he's fouled on the rebound by Davenport.
You can't relax. He's coming. That's outstanding effort by Schofield. Davenport, who's done everything. He's done everything for Memphis. Just made a bad decision right there.
Davenport's pointing at himself right now, too. You can see his frustration.
Yep. Like I said, see if Tennessee goes back to their zone.
Schofield is 7 for 7 at the line. Came in 8 for 15 on the year. Let's see defensively. Still man-to-man for Tennessee. And the ball taken away by Walker. Up ahead, boom, with a throwdown.
Steady consistency.
Parks. That ends the Davenport run. He had scored 18 in a row for Memphis. And Parks finishes off the find from Martin, his 5th assist. Blocking foul against Harris. His 3rd.
You see the outstanding pressure. Tennessee, they're going to be right here. Come off, tries to split that double team. Gets a hand on it. Big turnover, big basket by Bone.
Kevin Davenport had 21 last time out in the win over UAB. He has upped his game today. 31, a career high against the Vols.
And he's gotten it every kind of way. He's made shots. He's gotten rebounds and putbacks. He's filled the lane in transition. He went on a stretch there where at 18 in a row. Every kind of way possible. There's been a lot of discussion about the young guys and the freshmen here at Memphis. This is a senior saying, hey, understand the importance. This may be the only time I can play in this game. I'm trying to make something happen right now.
Only 5 points in the first half, a very quiet half. He scored 18 in a row for Memphis before the bucket by Parks a moment ago. But his team is down 13 with 3:55 to go, and Jordan Bone at the line for 2. Fouls have been the story today. These teams have combined for 53 made field goals and 50 personal fouls. And you see how good Tennessee has been right there at the line.
I mean, they've gone to the line. This is the 36th foul shot they've taken. They've made 30 of them.
They've got Alexander, Williams, and Schofield in the game, along with Bowden and Bone. Martin runs the point for Memphis. Thornton back in the game with his 4.
And Tennessee is in that zone now.
Kareem Bruton. Rainier Thornton dials up a 3. So Memphis is scoring. How do you get a stop? Break some pressure. Bone lost the handle. Got it to Schofield just in time. Schofield will take it in. Thornton tried to draw the charge, and Schofield finished 27 for Admiral Schofield 1 weekend after he scored 30 against Gonzaga.
I told you earlier, we got time for him to get there.
Davenport, nice find, and a finish for Bruton. Tennessee shooting 53%. That's from the field, 83% from the line, where they will return on a foul against Bruton.
Admiral Schofield, we talked about his 3s the last game. That's a big tank coming right at you. Showing the dexterity right there.
The foul, the 4th on Bruton. He's the 4th Memphis player with 4. Thornton, Lomax, and Parks with 4 as well. Lomax and Harris check back into the game. Sports Center tonight, 12:30 a.m. Eastern, 11:30 Central. What you need to know from the first day of college football bowl mania. There's NFL today. Texans, Jets, Browns, Broncos. We'll get you covered on some big games with AFC playoff implication. And LeBron James and the Lakers facing his earnest. Trying not to get a playful smack in the back of the head today from Michael Jordan. Sports Center tonight on ESPN, streaming live on the ESPN app. You see that the other night? The Hornets thought they had won the game, jumped on the court, got a technical foul, and MJ had a little pat to Malik Monk.
I did see that. I might go so far as to say a much-deserved little pat to the head.
I would think so.
By Michael Jordan. Tennessee's going to stay in that zone, I'm guessing here, and just spread it out. Try to take away the threes. Stay at home if Memphis penetrates. It's going to be a long, drawn-out zone.
Davenport in the corner, gets out of it. Harris has still not hit a three until now. His first in 8 tries. Harris is all over Bone and a little bit too all over him. That's Harris's 4th. It's a miracle nobody's fouled out of this game. That's 8 players combined with 4 fouls. That guy's picked up 2 fouls, and he's not even in the game.
On that last possession down Memphis end, you know, on penetration, Tennessee can't collapse to the rim. You have to stay spread out because they want threes right now. Memphis wants threes.
By the way, for those of you waiting for Maine and Eastern Washington in the FCS semis, that game has started on ESPN News and will be joined in progress once we finish here. Winner of that game gets North Dakota State in the FCS championship game. Two minutes to go. Harris, not sure how he even got that off over Williams, but could not finish, and Tennessee will try to take the air out of the ball. Season high 96 for the #3 team in America. Schofield, and Bone chases down the rebound.
You see that speed right there.
Wow. He looked like he teleported. Jordan Bone is fouled, and that's our first disqualification as Harris fouls out of the game. Well, Rick Barnes, I was going to say, Rick Barnes told us his team had a great week of practice after the Gonzaga game. Sometimes those physical games can wear you down. This has not been the same kind of physical, but it's certainly been physical. Probably more so than anybody expected with all the contact and the fouls.
No, this has been an extremely physical game, you know, but this Tennessee team is built to withstand that and to impose that, not just withstand, to impose that. As Coach Barnes said, they had a great week of practice. I think they like running from the front. You know, it's a veteran team that's gone through the knocks, has gone through the growing pains with their core unit. You know, you return 5 starters from last year's team. You return most of your team. They won the SEC regular season. They like where they are. They've earned the right to have the swag that they have, the confidence that they have.
Finger roll for Lomax.
And this Memphis team will get there.
Good hands by Lomax, and he tips it ahead to Martin. Martin tried to throw it down over Williams. Thornton. Good for 3. And Penny Hardaway will take a timeout. .8 to go. Penny's Memphis team fighting till the end with Tennessee in the huddle. 98-89. Tennessee has the lead with 47.8 to go. We just had a scuffle during the break. Admiral Schofield was over in the Memphis huddle. We're getting an explanation right now from Owen Short.
We'll shoot 2, and the point of interruption will be after the made basket with the running baseline. Thank you.
Okay, so Owen Short just gave us an explanation. He just told you we have what? Offsetting technical fouls?
Offsetting technical fouls.
Right there. Jordan Bone 0, and then number 3, Martin.
0 and 2, and then they have an additional technical foul on Schofield, I believe.
Okay, 0 and 2, so it's Lomax, not Martin, beg your pardon. So Bone with the first.
But they got to sort a few things out here. But hey, we got the Hatfields and the McCoys right here. What do you expect? I mean, come on. Memphis, Tennessee.
A game that hadn't been played since the 12-13 season. Josh Pastner was the Memphis coach. He was very public about not wanting to play this Tennessee game. It went away for a few years. Rick Barnes and then Memphis coach Tubby Smith are close friends, wanted to renew it. So it will be Bone at the line. So 2 technicals against Memphis. Jordan Bone will shoot. You have a technical on Bone, a technical against Lomax. And then the third technical
on Schofield.
We have a personal foul against Martin. No, that is a technical foul. That's been changed to a Class A tech on Jeremiah Martin. So Martin and Lomax for Memphis, Bone for Tennessee with the technicals. Looked like Schofield was just mixing it up. Penny Hardaway wanted a technical on Schofield, but doesn't appear he'll get one. Jordan Bone will try to get involved to triple digits. Listen, they didn't play this game for 6 years. You got to get up some pent-up frustration.
No, I mean, hey, this is beautiful. This is beautiful,
maybe that's not the word I would use, but all right.
This is beautiful, man. They're going at it. The emotions are high. That's why you play. You don't play these games and have a nice, docile, calm crowd or emotion, nice passive emotions from either team. This is what you expect. Now you don't want anything to be crazy, but you want this heightened sense of urgency, of competitiveness, of we don't like them.
Schofield trying to work out of the trap and fouled by Jones.
You got Bone and Martin still talking to each other. It's called a rivalry game for a reason. You know, and it's games like this and moments like this and situations like this that make the next time that much more special.
The next time will be in Knoxville next year, and the year after that, sort of a central point in Nashville. 3-year contract has been signed. Jones missed it. 34.1 to go. Tennessee has the game in hand. Well, the last time a top 5 team came to the FedEx Forum, it was Tennessee in that 1-versus-2 game 10 years ago, and that Tennessee team followed it with a loss to Vanderbilt the next game. You often wonder how teams respond after big wins. Tennessee has responded well after beating Gonzaga.
They have, and I tell you what, when they go to Knoxville next year and then Nashville the following year, Penny's going to have a few more horses with him.
Yes, indeed. This is a bit of a transition year, wouldn't you say, for Memphis with what's coming down the pipe?
Well, you have a new coach, so obviously it's a transition. You have a new coach who's trying to instill his systems, his style, his way to win, his way to run a program. So yes, this is transition. But I think the sun is shining up for Memphis basketball.
Jones, one final three. 102-92. Might not not be that many points in the NBA game here tonight. A high-scoring affair with a whole lot of fouls and some late-game drama. Tennessee wins it. Admiral Schofield with 29, one shy of his career-high set Sunday. And the number 3 Vols roll along to 8-1. Coming up next, Maine and Eastern Washington. The FCS semis. We'll take you there.